Hi, my name is Brittany Echemendia. I am the co-founder of Two Stories Media with my husband, Kevin. And today we are going to talk about Trademark Interiors project with us called The White Elephant.
Here we are, episode 8 of The White Elephant. This is the grand finale of phase 1.
I was the producer on this year-long project. So it was a very long project, very exciting project that we got to do with Tracy Murphy of Trademark Interiors. Trademark Interiors is a luxury interior design firm based in Sarasota, Florida. They do incredible projects. So we were lucky enough to get to work with them on a project of theirs. So there was definitely a lot of similarities, and we joked about it on set, about how Tracy and Grant, her partner, were kind of like a Chip and Joanna Gaines of Sarasota. Grant is the one that did all of the construction on the house, and Tracy designed it.
Met at a job site. He was obviously the contractor, and I was the designer, and we disagreed on the design of the house. So it was a little bit of a interesting start, I guess, because we had to solve a problem. I had to convince you to see my way.
I was trying to convince you,
Yeah.
and I lost the battle,
Yes.
but I won the war.
The thing that made this series different and exciting and fun was that this was their own home.
As a designer, working on your own project is a lot of fun, but it is also very overwhelming. I think it's very common in the industry. If you talk to designers, they will say doing their own home is the hardest because we know all of the options. It's very hard for us to narrow down, but thankfully I have a great team at Trademark Interiors, and they really helped make this house come to life exactly the way we pictured it.
It was a year-long project. I was the producer. My job was to come up with the concept for each of the 8 episodes that we filmed and edited. We did some light scripting, provide notes, and just kind of a general sense of where we wanted each episode to go. We had 8 episodes, and to kind of divide up everything into engaging, exciting episodes when we don't necessarily know every single thing that's going to happen, especially once you get towards month 7, 8, 9 down the road, was a little bit of a challenge. You have to be flexible in this sort of role when you're planning something out that's this long. So we kind of gave some general guidelines of where we wanted to go, what we wanted to see with all of these episodes. And luckily, Tracy Murphy is a fantastic speaker on camera. Everything that you see in each of the episodes is not on teleprompter. She actually preferred it that way. She didn't even want notes. She's just an excellent speaker. By and far, the biggest challenge with this project was construction and timing. Many times we would plan to go in and just maybe it was a B-roll day or maybe it was a full day of interviews to kind of catch up on what had been done in the house, and we would have to reschedule. We planned to be flexible throughout the process. When we were planning out each episode, there were literally times where we would take something that was from episode 2 and that wasn't happening anymore. Maybe it was a landscaping project that, they had everything put in, but the landscaping hasn't grown in full enough that it would look really beautiful and lush on camera. So we literally have to wait for the trees to grow in or the bushes or flowers to grow in. So we would just swap that and move it over to episode 4, which we would film, a couple of months later, just to give it some time to breathe and to really look its best on camera. At the end of the day, that's what we wanted. We wanted to show a really great before and a really beautiful after to showcase her design work, and I think in the end we nailed it. In Tracy's business of interior design, she is very used to being flexible and adjusting. So that didn't faze her at all when we would come in and say, we need to move this, this, and this to 3 episodes down the line. If anything, she was like, yeah, that makes sense. Having a client that understands that things will change and adjust from the beginning was very important. The post-production is really where the story came to life with each of these 8 episodes. We tried to keep all of the episodes between 8 and 12 minutes, so they were on the longer side, but they were built for YouTube. We also provided Tracy with teaser cuts of each of the episodes, usually 2. For our B-roll days, we had anywhere from 1 to 2 people. We would get gimbal footage, we would get drone footage, we would just handheld, whatever the shot called for. And then on our interview days, we would have a gaffer, the producer, the DP, and a director. And we tried to keep it 1 interview day per episode. 8 days of interviews, plus quite a few B-roll days sprinkled in. Because when you're talking about home renovations, you want to get the before, you want to get the during, and the after. So you really need to have a lot of days of filming to cover all of that. So you have to really stay in constant communication with the client to make sure that you're there when things are happening. But obviously we can't be there for every single thing in a 5+ bedroom house. So we did have Tracy come in and shoot some phone footage that you will see sprinkled in throughout. And I think that was fun too, because it kind of gave the episode some more personality, because it was Tracy going out, maybe with her morning cup of coffee to go see the landscaping, and how did it end up looking? How does it look in the morning light the day after it's put in? Or how does the color of the year paint in their master bathroom look? So I think that was really fun for the viewer to kind of marry the personal footage from Tracy with our footage of the full picture. So I think overall, this was a very fun project to shoot. It was one of my favorite projects that I think I've ever produced. It was so fun to work with Tracy. She's just a very kind person. She's very knowledgeable about what she does. She has a ton of experience. So you can kind of pick her brain and use that for your own home projects that you have going on, which I definitely did. And fun fact, Tracy is actually now selling the house. They finished all of the renovations that they wanted to do. The house looks incredible. So I asked Tracy, what are you guys doing now that you're selling it? And they're buying another house to renovate. I'm Brittany from TSM, and we'll see you on the next story.